Recently, Google has made a bunch of big announcements, a bunch of big AI model announcements around their new Gemini. So they have essentially three versions, three tiers of this. They have Gemini Nano, Gemini Pro, and Gemini Ultra. So big news, and the big headline here is that the Pixel 8 Pro, which is Google's smartphone, has become the first smartphone powered by Google's new AI model, which of course is Gemini. So today on the podcast, I'm going to be breaking down why this is important, what this means to have an AI model, powering a smartphone, running on the smartphone, how powerful this thing is, and diving into all of this. And the one thing I do want to say is with every single AI announcement I make and talk about every new AI model, it gets me more and more excited to put these models onto the AI Box platform. For those that don't know, I'm building a no-code AI app builder and marketplace called AI Box that essentially allows you to build powerful AI tools. You can use all of the different AI models that we mention and talk about on the podcast, chain them together, put in your custom prompts, automate your workflows, and if you'd like, you can put those workflows onto our marketplace to receive royalties, make revenue from those tools. If you're interested in this, you can get on the waitlist at aibox.ai. And if you're interested in investing in this company, we actually just launched our crowdfunding campaign about 4 weeks ago. We've raised $275,000 so far. We'd love to have you on board with that. The minimum investment is $150, maximum is $100,000. We have people all in between there, but really excited about that project. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the world's #1 AI podcast, AI Chat. I'm your host, Jaden Schaefer. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app, or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Google right now is setting a new benchmark in the Android ecosystem with the latest announcement, which is, of course, that the Pixel 8 Pro is now the first smartphone to integrate the company's new AI model, Gemini. So the launch, I think, not only marks a really big step in, smartphone AI capabilities, but I think right now this is kind of underscoring Google's commitment to enhancing their user experience through, some of this advanced tech. So at the center of all of this, and this big step forward, is Gemini Nano. So this is a streamlined variation of Google's Gemini AI model. They got three versions, right? Nano, Pro, and Ultra. And the Nano is specifically tailored for on-device operations for, those for smartphones, really. And the move is, I think, quite pivotal, as essentially it enables two new features on the Pixel 8 Pro. So the first one is Summarize in Recorder, and also Smart Reply in Gboard. So Gboard is the Google keyboard. Notably, with Gemini Nano's on-device functionality, sensitive user data stays on the phone, right? So your images, your conversations, all of your info can stay on your phone, run locally on this AI model on your phone. You don't have to send it out to, an AI model in the cloud, like is the case with ChatGPT, that, there can be leaks, there can be all sorts of issues, right? We've seen people have we've seen people hack or prompt inject ChatGPT to get some of the training data, to get people's personal private data. All sorts of issues have happened there. So what's cool is when you're running an AI model locally on your own device, like your own phone, your content, your images, your videos, your pictures, your text messages, your emails to your grandma, well, I guess that, your emails to your grandma, they have to go off your phone because you're emailing, so it goes through Google servers or whoever's servers, but you get the idea, right? Everything can stay on the phone. You don't have to send it to a third party in order to integrate it with AI. And I think this is a big boost for privacy. Also, this allows uninterrupted use. Even if you don't have Wi-Fi or cell reception, you can still use these models. That's another big boost here beyond just, privacy or whatever. It's you could be out in the middle of the wilderness and you got no cell reception and you're kind of hungry and you take a picture of a plant and you're like, is this thing edible, right? I mean, I'm thinking for TV shows like Alone, this would be pretty cool. In any case, I think the implementation of Gemini Nano in the Recorder app introduces an AI-powered summarizer. So now users can get concise summaries of their recorded audio. So, that's conversations, interviews, presentations. They get that all directly on the Pixel 8 Pro. And all of that's, again, without Wi-Fi or like cell reception. All these features will work, which is really, really cool. I feel like, 90% of the features on smartphones today, like you need cell reception to the point where like sometimes like I won't even bother opening up half my apps if I got poor cell reception. So I'm like, I just know they're not going to work. But this is really cool when you get these features that literally will, just work with no cell reception, right? So the feature is supplemented by the app's expanded transcription capabilities, which now has 28 additional languages included in it. So that's really impressive. So another one that I mentioned earlier, of course, right, is Gboard. So Google's keyboard application is right now going to start incorporating Gemini Nano in a developer preview. So the AI is going to fuel the smart reply feature, which initially is compatible with WhatsApp. So kind of interesting that they have that working right off the get-go. But I think this is really kind of enhancing the quality and context awareness of suggested responses in messaging apps. And Google plans to extend this functionality to more apps next year. Now, something I'll say is, of course, we have all the autoresponder kind of. This isn't very new tech, like the auto response thing. Apple's done it forever. Android's done it forever. Like when you're texting and it's like it recommends the next word you might want to say. And so this is kind of like the whole next level where it's going to recommend the whole text, and maybe it's going to be able to train off of like all the texts you've sent in the past, so it can sound like you, or your emails is one that I think is cool. One thing I will say is Google likes to give themselves credit when they released their like AI for Gmail integrations. They're like, this is nothing new. We've always had AI integrated into like Google and Gmail products. Like, just look, we've been doing like auto email, next line recommendation stuff for a long time. Okay, like I think that's a little bit generous of a pat on the back to Google because their next line recommendations, typically for me, I'll say like hi, and then it like auto fills in like the person's name. And sometimes it will have like 3 other words. Other than that, I've been writing the whole email myself. So I think they're a little generous to themselves. They have not been implementing that much AI auto recommendation features. Now, of course, they have Bard, which can be integrated. They have Google Workplace, which I have, and that essentially will write your entire email for you. And I've used it before and been quite impressed by the response. So yeah, they're doing great now. But when they talk about their historical stuff, I don't give them that much credit. In any case, and I'm sure some people will be upset about me for saying that, whatever. So with the whole, with all of these applications coming out, I think beyond the immediate application, Google's Gemini Nano's influence, I think, is going to go through a bunch of different, like it's going to be integrated into a whole bunch of different aspects of the Android experience. One significant integration is in the planned powering of Google Assistant with Bard. So essentially, this is like Google's version of Siri on Pixel devices. And I think this is important. Honestly, I'm like, if I have a bone to pick with anyone, any of the tech companies, it's that Google, Apple, and Amazon for Google Assistant, Siri, and Alexa did not all like immediately integrate just like a ChatGPT assistant in replace of what they had there. I've talked to people that have worked on all of those projects, and I know a lot of people are like defensive about this. They're like, yeah, but the tech wasn't ready, or it wasn't good enough, or whatever. Okay, well, we're at the end of 2023. ChatGPT came out last year, and on my iPhone, Siri is still the worst thing in the world. I know people are going to get triggered by that, but like everyone 100%, like if they want to just swallow their pride and just like get ChatGPT and integrate that, I promise it would be a better experience than what it is today. So go make your own in-house stuff. Awesome, fantastic. Looks like Google's doing that. My only bone to pick is that everyone didn't do it sooner if they even just had to like rely on, I get it, right? They don't want to look weak, like they got to rely on OpenAI's ChatGPT, but like, I don't know. The products have been bad for a year because of that, decision. So in any case, I think the broader implications of all of these different AI advancements are pretty substantial. So the combination of improved on-device AI and also initiatives like Beeper, which brings iMessage to Android, I think all of this could really entice more users to switch to Android from other platforms. In addition to some of these like new Gemini features that are going to be on the Pixel, there's a couple others that I think are interesting. One is the new video boost feature, which essentially leverages the Tensor G3 chip to optimize video uploads with adjustments in color, lighting, and stabilization. They have a night sight video and improved portrait light in Google Photos, and that's all part of this big update that they're doing, along with the ability to sharpen images of pets in motion, right? Like they always just like throw like a bunch of random features in there that are cool, but like as if that's ever gonna, be the reason I buy a phone is because it has like 10 cool features, whatever. In any case, I think the rollout of a lot of these new features isn't limited to Pixel 8 Pro, which is important to know. Google's Pixel Fold and some other recent Pixel models are also getting the capabilities like dual screen preview and USB connectivity for using the phone as a webcam, which of course, this is something that Apple has been doing for a little while. So I think the Pixel Watch and other devices are also seeing updates, including expanded call screen options and some new, whatever. They got a bunch of new features on here. I'm going to be really curious to test this out. I want to get my hands on a Pixel 8 Pro and, see how this works. It'd be really cool to use some of these AI capabilities on device with no internet connectivity. I honestly think that's a great feature. Apple is making some big moves in the AI space. They've made some announcements recently, so it'll be interesting to see what their response to a lot of this is. But I'll definitely keep you updated on everything that happens in this regard in the future. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.